Today, I wanted to talk to you about the importance of education. Now, I'm not talking about education like we got in school. That is very different to how I learn now and how I coach my clients. But what I wanted to highlight to you was I spent 3 full days working on my business and working on myself. I was very, very fortunate enough to be What I wanted to talk to you about today was the importance of our ongoing education. Now, I'm not talking about school and uni and TAFE and that type of education. That serves a purpose for some people. For me, not the most exciting time of my life. What I have since found with being a business owner is the education that I seek out and get myself is so different to what school is like. And it helps me not only learn and grow and build better businesses and help my clients better, but it's also actually fun for me. So when you find the right people to coach you and the right people to mentor you and the right people to educate you, business becomes so much easier. Now, I was very, very fortunate to spend 3 days recently, 2 days firstly at ProfitCon, which is our Profit First conference for certified Profit First professionals, so accountants, bookkeepers and coach and business owners who have chosen to be certified in the Profit First method. And that means that they are able to teach you and coach you and educate you on Profit First in the best possible way. It's a bit like if you're using somebody, or if somebody says they can help you out with Profit First and they're not certified, it's a bit like me asking to have a handyman come here and build my house. They possibly do it. It's not going to end well. Same as when you're working with a Profit First professional. Please make sure they are certified. So ProfitCon is a 2-day conference we have every year for Profit First professionals. And this year we were very fortunate to have Mike Michalowicz, the author and co-founder of Profit First, in person at our event in Perth. Mike ran quite a few sessions actually over those 2 days, as well as having some amazing other speakers across that time. And I learnt not so much new information, but so many pieces of my business I was like, oh, that had fallen off. And now I have the resources and the connections to go back to those people and say, hey, I need help in this specific area, which means that saves me time and it also saves me money in the long run because I'm not going to continue to make the same mistakes. The third day, I was very fortunate enough to be one of only 16 people in the room where Mike ran a mastermind day specifically for us. To say that was interesting, mind-blowing, thought-provoking, all of those things are an understatement. The way Mike run the mastermind was super interesting to me. It was so nice to be a part of a mastermind and have it run through a series of steps so that we can get certain outcomes. And a lot of the time, the upside was we didn't even realize that we were digging deep and opening up and, sharing things that we potentially wouldn't share. But as business owners, we tend to be really, really bad at sharing the not so good things. And what I know over all these years of being business owner is that when we can share what's not working, we can then start to get help. If we don't share, we can't help you or you can't be helped. And when I work with clients, one thing I say is my number one rule is you must ask questions. And by asking questions, that helps me understand where you're at in the business and what's going on and how I can help you. And so that mastermind day was a real eye-opener in some strategies in how I can better ask my clients to get better outcomes and better answers for them. So that was super, super just fun and interesting and just such a great day. We then flew back from Perth and I was very fortunate to co-host a Dinner with Mike event at Dalton House in Jones Bay Wharf in Sydney. 125 amazing business owners of all different shapes and sizes in the room, and Mike gave his Profit First keynote. And I've seen this before a number of times, but again, it never gets old. I take something away from it new every time, and it was such a good event. It was so fun. I was very fortunate. I was able to invite some different business coaches I work with, some clients, and just some amazing people on my table. And we just had such a great night. And it was so great reaching out and being able to chat to people who have either listened to my podcast or read or listened to my book. And they were able to ask me questions, just come up and chat and ask questions. So that was so exciting to be able to finish off an amazing week of learning with an amazing week of a great dinner, great event with Mike. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is that it was a huge investment in time and money out of my business for the week. Now, you may not do 3 full days plus a night, but I really highly encourage you to think about what you're doing in your business to help you change where you're at. Now, if you're listening to this podcast, you've either probably heard of or you're interested in Profit First. Maybe cash flow isn't going so great. We're coming to the end of the year. Things are super busy for most of you from a work perspective. But what I know from experience over the last over 11 years working with tradies, that this time of year is really busy. But what happens is after the Christmas period, you have a massive cash flow slump. And what people usually say is, oh, I'm too busy to do anything about it now. I'll do it, I'll think about it and work on it in January. Yes, we can do that, but we can also start taking little steps now that are going to soften that blow in January. Now, if you are a business who doesn't have any cash flow problems come January, February, March, some are still even into April are struggling, then great, keep doing what you're doing, no worries. But if you are already thinking, oh, I'm not looking forward to the new year, or how am I going to do that? I'll think about that later. I'll figure that out later. I highly, highly recommend to please reach out to me. Send me an email, katie@profitfirstfortradies.com.au. If you're part of my Profit First for Tradies Facebook group, post in there, send me a DM on Instagram. I don't care how you message me, but please reach out so we can at least start chatting about what you can do now to save that stress come the new year. Because as I said, what I know, I get a huge influx of new client inquiries and new clients jumping on board early in the year, which is amazing, but I really want to help you now so that is not so stressful come the beginning of the year. So if that is you, I highly, highly recommend, as I said, that you reach out to me, please. Don't delay. Don't think that your business is worse than anybody else's. Don't think that I don't have time. Just send an email. It can be super brief. It can be super long. Whatever you feel like sharing, I can absolutely help you, point you in the right direction. That may be, hey, here are some free resources, or go do this one step. It may be that you're interested in working with me. Also great. Let's chat about that. But please reach out and let's make sure that the end of the year you finish strong and you also start the year strong.